In overtime at Gateway, Kyle Busch grabs his third win of the season, holding on to the lead for 5 consecutive restarts. So, Jeff, how did he do it?
Well, he did a number one. They had a fast race car. Obviously, he and Randall did a great job of getting the car ready, and he was resilient on every one of those restarts. 5 restarts, anything can happen. He just did a great job on every one. Got a great launch. Made 1 and 2 work every single time. And what about this guy, right? Like, I'm pretty sure we were all, including himself, I don't care what he says, we're all questioning, could he still do it? You know what I mean? Because he hadn't really had the success that we expected of Kyle Busch of late, but here he is with 3 wins already. He couldn't have asked for a better start. Anytime you team a new driver with a new crew chief, you never know what's going to happen, but this has been good for Kyle Busch, and it's been really good for RCR.
I'll tell you what, when I look at, people talk about those 5 restarts that Kyle Busch, held the field off, but I go back to the pit stop before the lap 184 restart. Kyle Busch went into pit road 4th. He came out 3rd. Why is that important? Well, because on the choose lap, he got to choose the outside of row 2. That put him in position to take the lead on that following restart. Why is that important? Because then he was able to control the rest of the race through those restarts. But again, it goes back to that pit stop just before the lap 184 restart. He has the number 1 pit stall because he wins the pole. Everything is interconnected throughout the weekend. And so what happens on Saturday and how can help you on what happened on Sunday. And that's what happened with Kyle. They have a fast pit stop. He's got that number 1 pit stall because he wins the pole, has first choice of pit stalls. And then he's able to take the lead off the restart from Kyle Larson off of 184. And then from there on, he's able to hold off the rest of the field on those other restarts. So it all kind of plays together. And I think that's a key thing. I think another thing that helped him on those restarts is on 4 of those 5 restarts, he had Denny Hamlin behind him, and Hamlin gave him a great push on 3 of those. And on the last restart, I think Kyle Busch just had a fantastic restart on that overtime restart just to clear Kyle Larson. But again, it's all these little things that come together that mean so much that leads to a driver winning or a driver losing a race. And I think we saw that with Kyle Busch with how everything played out.
I want to build off something Jeff mentioned, and that's just the performance we've seen from Kyle so far and the questions a lot of people had, including, I think, all 3 of us on what Kyle could do at RCR and how soon he could do it. I know I'm surprised. So are you guys surprised? And then based on what we've seen so far, does he have more wins in his future this season? How many more? And is he part of your championship 4?
Well, listen, we should know by now, never count Richard Childress out. You know what I mean? Like Richard, if you look at what Richard's done throughout his career, most of the counterparts that he started his racing career with weren't able to sustain success the way Richard has been able to sustain success. He has found a way to be innovative, to change things, to try things that are different. People look at Richard and think he's just an old school racer, and he is. But he always pushes the edge of evolution and technology. And he doesn't get enough credit for that. He doesn't get enough credit for the things that he's done. And so at a point where you're looking at RCR, Tyler Reddick, the hottest young commodity in the sport, says, hey, I'm leaving. What is the future of RCR? All of us questioned, what could he do? Can he find a way to keep going? Brings in Kyle Busch. Many people questioning Kyle Busch. And now they've won 3 in a row. I'm sorry, 3 in this year. They are a championship contender. They're tied for the most wins. Richard Childress has his chest poked out. Kyle Busch has his chest poked out. They have a ton of confidence, and they've become really dangerous. This is a team you're going to have to beat to get to win these playoffs. So yes, can they win more races? They certainly can win more races. Don't forget, you get 20 minutes practice every weekend. 20 minutes. That's it. This is a new pairing. They don't get to come in here with a big notebook. They don't get to come in and say, we did this the last race. We did that this race. No, they're brand new together. 3 wins already. They're going to become more dangerous, in my opinion.
Yeah, and I think Jeff makes a great point. It's just this new collaboration between Kyle Busch and Randall Burnett and Kim is like we were talking off air. It's just about the success of Randall Burnett and what he's done for that organization, what he's done for that team with winning 3 times with Tyler Reddick last year, now 3 times already this season with Kyle Busch. The one thing I want to see out of the number 8 team moving forward is to get better on the short tracks. And that's something that Kyle's talked about. It's something that that whole organization has not been good at this year. Obviously, there's only a limited number of those tracks. So, but it certainly can come at key points in the season. Obviously, there's a couple in the playoffs with Bristol and Martinsville, and those could be key races if you need to point your way in or get a win to advance. So I want to see something like that out of this organization, but I think they've exceeded my expectations. I don't think, I didn't anticipate 3 wins in the first 15 races of the season out of this new pairing. So they've done a lot of great things. Let's see what more they can do moving forward.
Hi, I'm Parker Kligerman. For more access like this from Pit Road, be sure to click and subscribe to the Motorsports on NBC YouTube channel.